today's video, we're flying Cathay Pacific Business Class to Hong Kong and checking out 3 of their lounges. We'll look at the ground experience, food options in the air, and take you through our entire journey. Big favor before we dive in is to hit the like button and subscribe if you like travel. As a background, this is from the time capsule from one of our crazier trips. We started the journey in San Francisco and the first flight was to Seattle. We did get lucky with an upgrade to Delta One with our diamond status, which is always a nice surprise. Since it is a longer flight, you actually get to pick a meal, and for me, I chose the crab cakes, which were good. Super tasty, and I'd happily recommend it. We caught the sunset, which is one of my favorite experiences on a plane. There's just something magical about seeing the sun fade away into darkness. Seattle was a super fast stop, and we were also upgraded to Delta First for the short flight up to Vancouver. Not the most exciting, but hard to complain. After immigration and picking up our luggage, checking in our bags with Cathay Pacific, and debating a stuffed bear for way too long, we were ready to start the journey. The first stop is the Cathay Pacific Lounge in Vancouver. Starting off, we have Mandy right over here relaxing. Pretty cool spot to do some plane spotting and to put your legs up. If you are someone here early, I'd recommend taking these spots. They're probably the best ones in the house, most comfortable and best view. As you get closer to the flight, most of these seats are typically gone. So there's going to be 2 different sections for food. Let's take a look at the first one, which is more appetizers and snacks and salad bar. So we have a coffee maker and pretty much exactly what I said. Salad, snacks, some cold cuts, chips, and apples. Pretty cool overall view of the lounge. Champagne and wine bar. Some seats over here, and then this is going to be what's on the menu. So you have some wonton noodles, so wonton min, and dandan noodles, and also some dumplings, and pork bun, and also poutine and risotto. And then if you want something that's a bit faster, you can get some tortellini or zucchini with cheese. For me, I haven't tried either of these options, but might try it today. And then I really like the wonton min. It's pretty good. One of my favorite parts about business class lounges, and pretty much most lounges, is going to be the shower. So if you're someone who is going on a 12-hour flight to Hong Kong, having a shower before that is probably a pretty good thing. We are flying business class, so it's not really slumming it, but still nice to shower off the grime before taking that nap on the plane. Hair dryer, mouthwash, toothpick, dental kit, shower cap, another shower cap, hand soaps and stuff, Febreze, hand balm and hand wash. Get a towel, that's fine, that's not mine, but not a big deal. And then pretty cool shower. And I think this is pretty expensive stuff, and I think someone left her toothpaste. So yeah. To be fair, I pretty much said that it was fine. I wasn't too worried about minor things like that, so don't judge them on that. I was pretty much like, hey, just let me in. Let's actually do a summary of the flight and the product before we do a deep dive into the full experience. We ended up flying the older configuration of Cathay Pacific's 777-300ER. This was their night service CX-865 flight that departs at 1:20 a.m. Vancouver time and arrives at 5:35 a.m. Hong Kong time the next day. The flight time is usually 13 hours and 15 minutes. Tons of time to enjoy the product and still take a nap or 2. Despite it being a night flight, they do run a full meal service, which is definitely appreciated. The layout for business class is a 1-to-1 reverse herringbone, so everyone gets direct aisle access. Seat width is about 20 to 21 inches, with approximately 80 to 81 inches of bed length when fully flat. Even though it is a dated product relative to their new Aria suites, it still holds up surprisingly well. If you're looking to book business or first class with Cathay Pacific, the best way right now is through their own Asia Miles program, since partner space has evaporated. I would either look into their cards or bank cards that have transferable currencies to Asia Miles. Side note, if you want to learn about cards and you want to support the channel, we have links on the website asksebby.com and also down below in the description box. Make sure the links are competitive, but otherwise, it's a huge way to support the channel, so thank you in advance. So we did end up taking one of these side seats instead of the middle ones this time, and I think it's a lot more roomy. Feels a bit more like business class. Some slippers. This is, I believe, the bedding, and I'll probably show you this after once we actually use it. There's like a big area for your feet. I probably shouldn't be touching this, but yeah, huge area compared to the middle section ones. TV is the same, so still pretty convenient. You get 2 windows We are towards the back of business class just so I can do shots like this and it's not as weird. Menu for the meal, headphones. I believe it's the same amenities kit as last time. I'll go through that after as well. Rest of this is pretty standard stuff, light, pretty good charger spot because it's actually convenient. This is to control the seat, and then you can turn on the light beneath as well. It doesn't really feel that helpful right now, but when the cabin actually becomes dark, it's very helpful. Pillow, pretty firm, so if you're someone that likes very soft pillows, might not be for you, but pretty nice on my back already. There's a pretty big storage area down here. Probably wouldn't want to put a computer, but you could probably put a camera and not feel too concerned, given that it's pretty roomy. Welcome drink is orange juice, water, or champagne, but not really in the mood for champagne, so I got some orange juice. Ooh, so being in the middle, we didn't have any other textures other than this, so this is, I mean, this isn't fancy, but it's just nice to have something else. Yeah, this feels so much more roomy. It's such a small thing, but I think when you're not in the middle, it just feels so much more roomy, unless it's like first class where you have your own little square suite that's the same size as the side ones. One interesting story is that the people who are coming from New York to Hong Kong, even though they had a layover in Vancouver, since immigration wasn't open, they actually just had to sit there, which kind of sucks for people flying first or business because they're stuck there instead of the lounge. Kind of an interesting boarding process. So that was for them. So the pro strategy is to figure out what items you can get outside of supper and get them after. This is if you want to pre-order breakfast, I'm guessing so that they actually wake you up so you can have breakfast since it's an overnight flight. Complimentary GoPro? Not really. And if you want the screen to come out, you just press this button. Just press this button. So last time when we were in the front section with, I think, 8 business class seats, I don't recall having bedding, so interesting developments. Overall, I think, ironically, this back section, even though people don't like it as much, and it's meant for normal people, while that front section is meant for people who have status, I think this back section's a bit better, especially if you get one of these side seats, and there's more of these two as well. I don't really like the middle seats, and I think people who are couples tend to think that sitting together is a really nice experience. I think for Mandy and I, it's just nicer having our own little compartment, our own little suite. This feels like a more enjoyable, different business class experience versus, oh, I'm sitting next to you again, which we do for economy flights.
Cathay's amenity kit in business class isn't flashy, but it's well thought out and useful. My measure is usually whether I would reuse the bag in the future, and here it's great. So it's a zippered pouch from 78%. The way you can tell it's new is due to the tab. First thing is going to be some socks, which do have treading. This is a great option if you had a long travel day before this flight and didn't have a chance to shower at the lounge. Next up is the sleeping mask, pretty standard there. Moving on, you have moisturizer from Jurleek, and hopefully I'm pronouncing that correctly. Also a tiny mouthwash and standard earplugs. Here's more details on the brands. So make of the kit and also the facial products. Toothbrush, which is great to use after dinner. Toothpaste is from Colgate. End of the day, I'm happy to get another useful bag for cables and tech accessories.
So we are going to dive into dinner. One of the cool things about business class is it's more of a dining experience. It doesn't feel like a forced meal that isn't that good. It feels like a real meal. So for dinner tonight, we have beef and jasmine tea. Kind of random, jasmine tea is just ordered on. I'll probably show a better video of this using the big camera. You guys didn't see that, but this cuts pretty well. Very good. It's always interesting to me when the food on the plane is better than the food in the lounge, which is just a weird disconnect to me. Oftentimes it's the other way around. Potatoes are pretty good too. Highlight is definitely going to be the beef, and it falls apart pretty easily that you don't really even need a knife. Of the remaining items, potatoes are probably my favorite, mostly because they have a lot of flavor, probably a lot of butter, but tasty. Carrots are pretty bland. I actually thought they would do the whiskey cook method. But yeah, probably not gonna eat the bread. I guess I don't really prefer this style of bread. Oh, the butter has a cafe symbol on top of it. I thought the butter itself had a symbol, but it's just a sticker. I think if you got this at a restaurant, you would be pretty happy with it. Oh, this piece is a bit tougher. So it still falls apart pretty easily. First piece was a bit nicer though. The sauce is what really makes it though. This is going to be a signature drink. It's non-alcoholic, but it seemed interesting. Very flowery. I don't think I've had anything like this before. And then just some jasmine tea as well. The cod is so much better. If you like fish or if you're open to trying something new, get the cod. It's restaurant quality. If I got this at a restaurant, I probably would be very happy paying a large sum of money. We're going to finish off this meal and keep watching Spider-Man Far From Home. See you guys in a bit.
There are 3 lavatories available for business class, and unless you're flying right after meal service, there's rarely a wait. The one near seat 12K is the largest and a great option if you're looking to change. So funny enough, we usually prefer being in the back of the cabin just to get the overall shots, especially at night, which also means we're next to the lavatory. Inside, you're getting hand wash and moisturizer, plus towels. Everything was clean and well maintained throughout the flight. No complaints at all. In terms of length, when the bed is fully flat, it's about 81 inches, which is pretty sizable. The pitch is also about 81 inches, so they're making good use of the room. As someone that's 5'11", I felt pretty comfortable even in sleep mode. The footwell is also wide enough to move around comfortably. This means whether you're a back or side sleeper, it feels surprisingly roomy. You also have a decent sized pillow and a light but warm blanket. All of this, plus good airflow, cool cabin, and low noise, makes it easy to sleep. You won't get the privacy door like on newer suites, but the seat shell is tall enough that you barely notice your neighbors, especially in the window seats. One of the most impressive parts of the Cathay menu are their snacks. Unlike a lot of other airlines that just offer chips or cookies, Cathay has some made-to-order S-tier ones. The must-get item to me, if it's available, is the duck noodles. The noodles were perfectly cooked, and I was surprised that the duck wasn't too tough or overdone. Burger is okay, but I'd probably skip it unless you're really itching for some meat. There's also a vegetarian option with eggplant and kale salad that Mandy got and enjoyed. A great choice if you want a Mediterranean twist. Other options for snacks include ice cream, fresh fruit, popcorn, also a lot of grab-and-go style ones in the gallery if you want something simple rather than a full-on mini meal. These can vary but usually include granola bars, chips, Toblerone, and bottled water. The crew was also proactive about offering drinks or extra snacks, and they never made it feel like a chore. Your mileage may vary on the team, but I was thoroughly impressed.
Hey guys, breakfast time. We have some congee. So there were a few choices. I decided to go with the Chinese option because that's typically been the better pick here. So congee, easiest way to think of it is rice porridge, kind of like oatmeal, but more savory than kind of sweet, which is what I find most oatmeal ends up being. Think rice cooked down in a pork base. Here is some dim sum, hai gao, as well as siu mai, so shrimp dumpling and pork dumpling. Some fruit, strawberries, pineapples, watermelon, cantaloupe, some of the special juice, as well as coffee. Ended up spending the last 10 minutes doing more pictures, but let's actually try the food. Not bad. A lot of toppings inside. Green onions, mushrooms, and I was looking for the pork. So here's the pork. Not the most photogenic picture, but tasty. Siu mai is really good. So the pork dumpling. So it's really interesting. It's not shrimp. It's like half shrimp, half yam. I like the siu mai better. If you are someone trying this for the first time, this one is a bit more gingery, so might be a bit different the next time you try it if you don't like it this time. And if you're going to Hong Kong, I'd probably test another street place too. You'll probably like it. Just really depends on you, but if you're someone who likes savory, meaty, hearty stuff, I think you're going to be a fan. If the texture weirds you out, I would think of it as very, very, very well done risotto. Almost to a bush. Gonna finish this off and talk to you guys in a bit.
The Pier Business Lounge is a destination on its own. Located near Gate 65, you'll take an escalator down into a space that honestly feels more like a boutique hotel than an airport lounge. It's massive, calm, and beautifully designed, with natural woods, warm lighting, and signature green accents. There's 3 food areas and all of them are strong. The noodle bar has made-to-order wonton noodles, dan dan noodles, and pork buns. The food hall offers solid Western options. Think pizza, fresh salads, and hot dishes. The craziest one to me is the tea house, which is a curated selection of Chinese teas. If you didn't know any better, you would think you're at a social club rather than an airport lounge. There's also a cocktail bar and a coffee counter serving some of the best espresso I've had in any airport. Add in 14 shower suites with Bamford products, quiet zones and day beds for real rest, and tons of power outlets everywhere. If you're flying out of a high-numbered gate or willing to make the trek during a long layover, this is definitely worth a visit. The bridge is the middle child in Cathay's lounge lineup, overlooked by many but surprisingly solid once you spend some time in it. It's located right around gate 35, which makes it a super convenient stop if you're flying out of the mid-concourse gates. The layout is split into two wings connected by a central reception area. The left wing has the noodle bar, which is the same as the Pier but smaller, plus an Asian small plates area. The right wing is more Western, think food station plus a long full-service bar with cocktails and champagne. There's usually a barista station during peak hours too. In terms of amenities, you have 9 shower suites with Bamford items, quiet zones, work pods, and a ton of natural light. Also a ton of outlets, which is great to recharge. It's not as iconic as the Pier, but the bridge is the perfect option if you're not trying to walk all the way to the end of the terminal. More space than the deck, more variety than the wing. I'd go here if you want a mix of solid food, drinks, and a good work setup. The deck is the smallest of the 3 lounges, but it punches above its weight, especially if you're flying out of the lower numbered gates. Think 1 to 19 since it's right near the North Security checkpoint. The space is pretty compact, but super efficient. The standout feature is the open-air terrace seating that wraps around 3 sides of the lounge. You get tons of natural light, great apron views, and it definitely feels more breathable than an underground lounge. In terms of food, you have a smaller noodle bar with buzzer pickup, a simple buffet with hot and cold items, also sunset bar where you can DIY your own Hong Kong-style drinks. The amenities are also fewer, 6 shower suites and a small quiet room for napping being the highlights. To me, the deck is perfect for a pit stop if you're short on time or flying out of a low gate and don't want to do the trek through the terminal. It's cozy, has strong food, and the terrace makes it feel way more premium than you'd expect from a lounge this size. The last leg of this part of the trip is HKG to HAN. Luckily, this is just a 2-hour flight. This is also in business class, but it's their short-haul product, so pretty simple. It's a 2-2 setup with a ton of legroom, which is always nice. You also get a welcome drink and great service. It's hard to complain in business, even if it's not the most flashy. We did get to enjoy another sunset on the way to Hanoi, so somehow caught 2 sunsets for this day of flying. We definitely didn't film as much here though, since we were ready to get some sleep in a normal bed at the JW Marriott Hanoi after 4 flights and a day reviewing lounges. That wraps up our Cathay Pacific Business Class experience from Vancouver to Hong Kong, plus a tour of 3 of their lounges. Even though we were on the older 777, the reverse herringbone seat still holds up, the food and snacks were solid, and the crew delivered a consistently premium experience. The YVR lounge is one of the best in North America, and once you're in Hong Kong, the lounge game steps up even further, with the Pier being the standout. If you're connecting through HKG, definitely carve out time for at least 1 lounge stop. Even the deck, which is smaller, offers a pretty unique vibe, especially compared to lounges in the US. Overall, a smooth, comfortable journey across the Pacific, and a reminder that even Cathay's old business class still beats a lot of other carriers' newest products. Again, if you want to learn about cards to get Asia miles or other points that transfer to their program, we have links on the website asksebby.com and also down below in the description box. Thank you in advance, and it means a ton. If you made it to this point, leave a steaming bowl of noodles emoji in the comments down below, and I'll try to heart it and respond. 3 questions: what are your thoughts on the classic Cathay Pacific long-haul product? What's your favorite Cathay Pacific lounge in Hong Kong, either of the ones we looked at or that you personally enjoy? Also, what's your longest day of flying? Let me know and everyone else know in the comments down below. Big favor, thumbs up, share this, but otherwise, hope you liked it. See you on the road.
Oh, it's like literally a plot of rice with some chicken on top. I wouldn't call this risotto. It tastes like sticky rice with chicken broth.
A reminder that this is not an Italian airline.
Maybe just call it chicken sticky rice.
Yeah, it tastes like sticky rice. That's kind of hilarious. I think they didn't cook it long enough, and also they didn't use enough cream or something. Reminds me of like the Asian pot thing that you get to dip some, where it's like in the silver little thing of the chicken, but like overcooked rice. Would not recommend.
You can stop eating it now. Ian tried to.
I got better.